So anyone part of algo trading before? Algo trading, you know how you it is about, you know? So al- algo trading actually has several other names. Someone will call it bond trading, robot trading, or even program trading. So basically, they are just referring to the same things. So the basic idea is just to use some mathematical models or computing algorithm to achieve two things. The first thing is to generate anything. It is about decision making. So we can, based on some mathematical model, for example, we can analyze the market data and then to see whether there are some buy or sell signals. And the second part is about execution. So once you get the trading signals, so the next thing is how you can connect to the market, like the Hong Kong Exchange or like different brokerage for like through interactive broker to execute the trade. So this for the first part it is more focused on the mathematical side of the second part, which is more on the program side, how you can formulate your logic and to wire trading program to for the execution. So algo trading does not only focus on making profits. So it also have other three different objectives. So it can also be used to control the execution cost, and it can also be used to hedging for to manage your investment risk. So this slide just gives you an overview about the current market trends about algo trading. So currently, in US market, you can see that there are around 70% of daily stock transactions. They are driven by computer program. However, in Asia, the market adoption rate is still very low. It is around 10 to 20%. So, some market research indicate that Asia Pacific will have the fastest growing potential in 5 to 10 years. So actually, algo trading, what we believe is that it is the future of the wealth management industry. So as nowadays, there are many different kinds of data available in the market, not only for market data, but we also have like news data, uh, uh, weather, social media, etc. So we can actually explore a different kind of trading strategy. But maybe back to 10 or 20 years ago, we only have access to market data. So what we can work with the trading strategy is basically for those technical analysis or fundamental analysis. And nowadays we can explore more different kind of trading strategy like sentiment analysis, NLP, machine learning, etc. So and also even for different financial institutions, because like for Hong Kong MA, actually they have a framework for open banking API, such that they require those bank or financial institutions to open their API for third-party capital investors. So this kind of open API, they also enable us to connect to their trading system and to execute trade. And that's why this kind of algo trading, we believe that it is the future trend for the wealth management industry. So you probably heard of mobile RIC because there are several banks in Hong Kong, they already announced some mobile RIC product. But what is the difference between mobile RIC to algo trading? So actually you can refer to this slide. So as we mentioned before, so algo trading actually handle two parts. One is about decision making, the second part is about execution. So for mobile RSU, basically it only handle decision making. So for example, you can analyze the market and we can provide some trading signal. We can provide some market summary or some risk knowledge. But if after you receive those information, the humans still need to justify whether we want to follow or not. And then let's say we receive this kind of trading signal, and then we justify by ourselves. And if we want to follow it, and then we go to our banking apps or we go to the trading apps, and then we manually input and to execute by ourselves. But for mobile trading, the whole process is fully automated. So actually, this thing is one of our company's Telegram channel. So we had some regular update in terms of those market summary and also some studying or checking signal. So you can actually follow our Instagram. So we also have similar market analytics regularly posted on our iTunes. Here are some advantages for algo trading. So as you may have heard from many media, so algo trading actually because it analyzes a large amount of paper using from the algorithm, so it can actually have a very fast processing speed compared to human. Secondly, once we define the trading logic and the rules to trading algorithm, so no matter how the market fluctuates, it will just simply follow how the instruction we define. So that actually it has a very high discipline compared to human. So for human trading, actually, when you will invest in the market and especially when you lose, most of the time you won't cut loss and you just will have your position there and hope that after some month or some years, the price will reverse. But for this kind of cases, most of the times the price will never reverse. But for algo trading, because all the trading logic actually defined, so we pass our very it actually can follow what the instruction input will quickly follow. And then the most important thing is time. Yeah, because algo trading, as mentioned, once we will set up the trading program, you can just let it run the 24/7. So we can still make money back without still sleeping. And I think most people they are here by interested in how to get passive income is out. So here is an overview about the whole algo trading process. So algo trading is not it's not a single process. It is a large cycle. So the first step is that you need to design your trading strategy. So you may need to explore different trading idea from newspaper, from some forum, or from some academic research paper. So once you come up with some trading idea, then the next step is about backtesting. So what backtesting means, so the basic idea is that you apply your trading strategy over a historical period, and to see that whether if I follow my trading logic on how you would perform during the past period. So it is the most important component for the whole algo trading life cycle. And for backtesting, we can further break down into 5 steps. So for example, first of all, we need to formulate our logic. So let's say if we have some kinds of maybe value stream index, so we learn this kind of technical indicator from somewhere else, and then if we want to see whether this kind of indicator work in your market. So we need to work on formulate our trading process and programming code, and then we need to do the debugging. So most of the time, when we write a program, we will need to do the debugging. And then after the whole program is buffy, and then we will try to test over the whole beta scripts and to evaluate the performance. And then most of the time we find get some good trading performance like once. And therefore, after we do the testing, and we need to maybe fine tune the trading algorithm. And then we may also need to introduce more new chain logic like take profit, stop loss, etc. So for this better thing, it will be another cycle. So once you come up with a good trading strategy, so the next step is about paper trading. So paper trading simply means that we apply our strategy over a real-time market. So we base on real-time market data to feed into our trading program. But we just based on some virtual money to pass our algorithm. So it's not we don't need to risk on our real capital. But paper trading is very important because we want to test whether our trading strategy is consistent with the capital that has result. Because if we convert the that has process inaccuracy, most of the time we can come up with some overfitting problem. So for example, we can fine tune the parameter and such that we can achieve a very profitable trading strategy. But if we apply this kind of overfitting model into a real market, most of the time we can see that the performance may not be sustainable. So we want to demonstrate this kind of problem. So most of the time, paper trading will last for around 1 to 3 months in the market. And actually, it depends on your trading strategy. So let's say you are using some kinds of high frequency trading strategy, like you are trading number can be like 10 times per day. The paper trading period can be shorter. If your trading strategy is some kind of low frequency trading strategy, and you just trade 1 to 2 times every month, then the paper trading period can be longer, like it can be like half a year. So it actually depends on the trading strategy design. So once we are confident with both patterns result, paper trading result, and then we can trade real money. So for this part, we need to connect our trading program with some real case product, and then we will keep monitoring the performance on time to time. So the real monitoring here, we also want to make sure that the performance is consistent with our paper trading results and also backtest result. So maybe after 1 year, and then you see that the performance decay a lot. So for example, doing paper trading and also backtesting, your performance, your NAV curve is like 45 degree up. But after being deployed for wind trading for some times, we find that the performance become bad. So for this kind of scenario, you may probably suggest that there are some market restrict change, and therefore we will need to go back to the first step. You may want to introduce block trading criteria, but we may need to revise for trading algorithms. We will start on this start again. So the whole process is a life cycle. It is not just a one-way process. So let's talk about our link-based strategy. So here I will use a very basic strategy as an example. We use the moving average cross strategy. So moving average is a very basic method to smooth out the short-term fluctuation. So here is the formula. So we need to define the period M. So let's say most common choice in the market is like 7 day, 14 day, 30 day, etc. So we try to calculate the average price for the previous low quality value. This kind of idea is basically to smooth out the short-term fluctuation. They can find a very simple example. So let's say we have the previous 5 day positive price being this, and then we can calculate with 5 day simple moving average. It is formidable. So the price will be short. So the idea of the moving average cross strategy is like this. So we can create two simple moving average line. We can do fast line and also the slow line. So let's say the fast line we set in period like 7 days, and zero line we set in period like 40 days. So usually when you set the number, you will set the number again to a high number. The curve that you see will be more smooth. Just like the red line here. We set the n to be a high number, the curve will be more stable. So the idea of this training strategy is to compare the value between the fast MA and slow MA. So let's say if the fast MA was in slow MA from the bottom up, you might suggest that the current market trend has a short-term upward trend. So you must suggest a buy signal here. So we will call it the golden cross. So on the other hand, if we observe that the fast MA cross the slow MA from up to down, and then we call it the back cross. We suggest that the market is trending downward. So it is a very difficult technical strategy based on technical input. So we will try to apply this kind of trading idea. So once we got the trading idea, we need to work on and easily formulate our trading logic into a computer program. So here is the step. So first of all, we need to initialize our two variables. We call it fast MA and slow MA respective parameter to 7 and 40 days. And then we will base on a sliding window approach to connect the previous observation. So here, because we take the maximum of these two numbers, so for the previous 40-day observation. Then we'll calculate the fast MA and slow MA values. And then we'll compare the two values to see whether we have the golden cross and vital dark signal. So as mentioned, for golden cross, the idea is that the previous fast MA is less than the slow MA. But today, fast MA is greater than slow MA. So we have the golden cross. So if we observe the golden cross, we will open the buying position. So on the other hand, for that cross, the that cross will occur if the previous day fast MA is greater than slow MA. So we compare two value like this. And then today's value, the fast MA is less than slow MA. So it will be a that cross. So for that cross, we will open a sell position. So this will be our order entry. We launch it for order entry. And then for order close, so we simply to check whether we have a reverse signal. So let's say if we previously open a buy position at golden cross, but now we appear to be at that cross, and then we will close our position. Then another situation is that if our previous signal, if our previous engine is a sell signal, and now it's become a golden cross signal, and then we will close our previous sales. So we just repeat the same logics. We apply to find the historical period and to repeat the whole process. And touch of is chain changing so far. It's a bit very simple. Okay, and then we'll see how we can implement this initiative. So it is the system architecture on our platform, the so-called Algo platform. So on the left side, it will be the robust the whole framework to define our algorithm facts. On the right hand side will be the system workflow. So as you can see, at the first step, we need to initialize all the variable trigger, like initialization style. And then the next step is to start the algo process. So once we start the algo process, so our event cards will keep listening to different event stream, like the market data feed. For example, if you subscribe to some news data or weather data, so you will also keep listening to different kinds of data stream from different blocks here. News data, weather data, reproduction statistics, etc. So once we receive the corresponding data, we need to fill the logic how we deal with the data updates. So for example, here we for our previous example, we need to update our logic on the use for market data feed. So we will check for our trading logic whether there will be a stream signal checker. So if yes, then we will send the order and then to the system, and the system will return whether our order is accepted or not. And then each is the setup that we will get to update from this policy. But if not, then we will go back to just we will also visit to with Jennifer or anyone from this class. But then if we can successfully open this position, then we will receive further update from the now from positioning and such. So if basically the workflow that corresponds to the every defense task here. This is the Cypress platform that we just mentioned. So you can see a little bit the basic platform structure here. I think most of you here will already have some basic knowledge of Python. So on the left-hand side here will be the training interface. So we can track your training logic here. And then the right-hand side here will be the data setup. So we can specify your data query. The data interval, like you want to use daily data, 1 hour data, 1 minute data, or even tick data. You can also specify the initial capital, or do you need large data with your transaction cost, and then there are also some other setup knowledge. Then your trading strategy require on short selling. Or maybe you can go to the laptop here. You can take reference to all the functionalities. I think the most basic function is how to debug your code. So you can go to this debugging. You can simply copy from the best saving thing. From here, I'm trying to apply this script on SAU USB, which is gold. And here we just try to print out all the large data from the system. And that's what it's called. Yeah, you can see that we set the screen message here. We print out the market data. Hey, because here we set the data here upload to the web page. So every day you can see there is a message, which is the 2nd of January. 3rd of January. Really challenging. So for example, if you don't know about what the energy here is talking about, Algo will be marketing heat. So actually it summarizes what attribute from the MD object. So for example, you can get the current, the price, last price, the moment handle sales price, and etc. Once we obtain the market return, then we can further to supplement our trading logic. For now, let's implement our moving average strategy. And we will apply to HSBC 5.HK. Because for stock trading in Hong Kong, usually it is very difficult for doing short selling. So for short selling, we would set it to false. And then for that race, we also set it to 1 time. And we set the initial capital to be 1 million. This currency will set to the HK. Also get back on and then go to the impact. So first of all, as mentioned, we need to define all those trading powering chart or those variable at the initialization step. So for example, we define to fast period, slow period, like second day, 14 day. We also need to define directly to store the level. And to calculate the moving average, we also use the TLA library. In TLA library is a very popular library for technical indicators. So it has more than 120 different technical indicators. We can actually go into those technical indicators or technical analysis to and actually explore his theory of it. So, in our training strategy, we mentioned that we need to fill in our logic under the market data field. So first of all, we will based on this function to collect the previous observation. So here we set the number of observations to be the fast period plus the slow period, just in case if we to ensure that efficient observation calculate the fast MA and also the slow MA. Will be based on the TLA library and the SMA from circuit. Calculate the simple movement effect. So we just our loose ends. is from order. Here, these two lines just to fill out the result. And then from the console log, you can see, so every day, it is on 3 observation. So, 1st of January, this one is, half of January. You can see the past annual observation, this one is the 0 annual observation. So actually, we will compare these two numbers. This one with our previous day values, and we will compare it with this number. And this one is the current days, and we compare it with the current days values. So because for this trading search, we actually we also make an assumption that every time we only have at most one position. So before we open, we try to open all the conditions, we need to check whether we have outstanding position first. If we already have outstanding position, we will not further open any new position. You just to simplify the code strategy. And therefore, in the code here, we have switch to something. So we try to check the current position. You can get reference from this line. Actually, this function will return field result. The first one is about the current decision. The second one is about any outstanding order. And this one is pending order. What is bring it up? So for our case here, we will focus on his object, the position. So for this position, actually reflects our only two value in the last 3 pattern and also the current net span volume. So the net volume is a positive number. That means we have a long position. And if this number is negative, that means we have a short position. After we get the following eigenvalue, and we will check for the golden cross signal. So here, the golden cross will take the fast MA here. We compare with the last previous day slow MA. So once we identify there is a golden cross, when we open we will send apply order. So we will use create an order object, and then we set the instrument, and then we set the buy sell. If the buy sell is 1, that means it is a buy order. If it is -1, that means it is a sell order. And then the volume means the number of lots or the number of contract. And then we use market order. Actually, and go to the sales order function here. There are many other combinations. So for example, if you don't want to use target order, you can also based on other like link order stopping your enter with the market. But for line or unit order or stop order, you also need to specify the unit price for the stop price. Actually, you can refer to the document here how we can specify several example. So let's say we want to open a unit order. Then you can set the order type to the one, and then we also need to specify your limit price. Usually, if you want to open a limit order, the limit price will be should be lower than the current market price. If you set the limit price to be higher than the current market price, it will automatically convert it into a market order. But for our case, because we see that if you want to open a limit order, you can change weekly price, the price to be with parity. Only okay for market price because having lower and ground price. Usually our important processing money. But will be the that cost. The logic is quite similar. So because now we are trading stock, so we don't really want to do short selling. So if we observe a depth cost, we won't own another position. Instead, we will post the previous order. So once we identify that depth cost, we will use the same variable here. Here we get our all our outstanding order, and then we will close all our outstanding orders. Here is the full script. Is this script long or short? This one is just a very basic changes, change strategy. If that's around like 50 or 60 line, it's not very complicated. People rather than them. We want the best result. So actually, here the transaction based on the moving average cost logic. will be applied over the period of 2024 on January to December. So we have uh, one 12 one order. So almost we have run same thing every month. You can find on in performance on this report now. For example, you can see your account balance, how your account balance over time. And the gap here actually refer to the capital that you already use. And the value here remember refer to the remaining capital that you can use for trading. And visualize how your capital is utilized over time. And here is the drawdown. So drawdown basically means based on the previous highest point or the previous peak value to the lowest point, what will be the percentage? There are also different performance statistics, i.e. the swap ratio. So as a trader, we always focus on this performance metric called swap ratio. Maximum drawdown, multiple William way of it's also very important. Actually, in where the transaction happens. To find out the detail, like your account balance or position on the P&L, cash flow. So for example, if you buy open a final season and because HSBC would pay dividend quarterly, so you will receive some dividend payment feeling. We can chip down into the performance detail from model application. Of course, its trading strategy is quite simple and you won't be expected to get a very promising result here. We can rely on this trading strategy to further supplement different trading logic. Now we can integrate with technical indicator. You can set up early take profit or at early spot loss. Actually, what else this platform can do? So a popcorn that has no actually also support the whole cycle of averaging. So from early stage research, because our platform provide more than 20 years of historical data, like covering all the asset, commodity, equity, foreign exchange, or even crypto. And we also have different alternative data set by news data, economic studies, social media, etc. So you can analyze a lot of data, or you can even train a lot of RSV on the platform. You don't need to install the software in your local machine. So we also support the data sets on the just like what we demo before. So here we just based on a single instrument. So let's say if you have a very complicated training strategy and you want to apply it over multiple data, then we can continue add different instruments here. And we can also view you. And you can control portfolio that has this. And you can also add it to your personal focus account for evaluation or new training. So currently, a platform that support the more than 20 different brokerage firm and also crypto exchange. So let's say if you are in the account from this broker, then you can directly integrate your account or platform and then you don't need to revolve your screen. Once your test is completed, then you can directly connect to your broker's account. You don't need to update and copy it. And it also can for some kinds of monitoring. So it can for usually for those professional traders, we won't put all the money in a single token because we are afraid that let's say if that token collapse all the downwards, all our title will be really gone. So as a professional trader, usually we will diversify our capital over different brokerage firms. So for this kind of situation, it might be very challenging to manage different algo over different brokerage account. So for the platform, actually, we also support the management of multiple algos using a single platform. So let's say here, let's say I have 3 different trading accounts from 3 different trading brokers. So here we can disable the performance statistics here, and we can have a more overview about our performance. You are wanting to do another interesting thing. So we know about ChatGPT, right? So actually, you might not be very familiar with open. So we also integrate or we develop our own AI. So if, for example, you can ask the AI to brainstorm some training ideas. For example, I have learned the non-detailed strategy from somewhere else, but I don't really understand the concept. So I can ask the AI to explain in more detail. Or I can even ask it to drop the training strategy. Code. So for example, in this example, I want the AI to write a training strategy that involves 3 parts. It's PPR base quote and the RSR, and then leave me a left the password, then get generate a 5-1 code. And you can actually copy your code and copy your code and run that through. This tool is very useful the help you to get into the double trading management. If you are interested, you can just go to delawating.com and register by email, and then you can have some info data package that you can play with. or any questions so far? Oh, to power, to use it. Okay. Okay, I will share another exciting event for you. So actually, we are going to organize a global elbow trading contest. This year, so you can see some familiar language here. Do you know what this language?
Arabic.
Arabic.
Arabic, yeah.
So this year we partner with the Saudi government, like the Saudi Central Bank, capital market, Saudi, and then we co-organize this global algo trading contest. So the contest theme this year will focus on Hong Kong stocks, non-listed US dollar, foreign exchange, and also commodity. So for the final day, if you are selected as a finalist, so you will have a sponsored flight to Saudi Arabia to pitch in Riyadh. So this contest we will last for around 5 to 6 months. So we have three the first one is healthy coping. So we will have around 1 to 1.5 months to put your strategy as well to do the backtesting or the season. And then once you are solid to second one, then you will have another 2 months for live interchange. So as mentioned, our live interchange will based on real-time market data to a trading token and simulate how your performance. And then if you are of course selected from the second one, and then we will have a chance to go to the Saudi Arabia to people physical presentations to different fund manager and also some because for these countries we already have some investors. They already form investment tool like 2 to 5 million US. So if you can finally read the competition, the investment fund already. We have the investment option. So here are the awards. So you can get some cash prize, you have the real money for trading, you also have the internship or employment opportunity with different asset management firms or banks, and you will also get a certificate that may be good for your future mobility. So this is our class contest. You know this now? Yeah, I'm not certain. So actually, Messi is sponsored in 2023. So the winner actually get a piece of buttons. So these are some of our class events. So you can, yeah, this will be our final day. So for example, you will have a chance to present in front of many different industrial professionals. So if you are interested to join this contest, we can scan this QR code and register by 14 October. So basically for the whole contest, it will it on the Algo platform to conduct the pen testing and to complete with each topic. So there, if you want to learn more about different trade strategy or the concept, then you can go to this link. We have some online course. So feel free to follow on our social media so you can get the latest update. See any question.
Grab the chance to ask questions. Yes, you can ask in 普通话 or in Cantonese or yeah, not necessarily in English. Yes，即係唔使講英文啊，可以問普通話，我幫你翻譯。你可以問普通話，我可以幫你翻譯。對。
Anything related to the technical implementation, related to context, related to industry, then anything. 因為同埋望關我哋想係開會考去試錄緊下，就唔會可以多咗80嘅。哦，可以咁樣佢。咁if you want to register an account, so basically if you can just use an email, then you can register. So once you register, then it will already have some theme package, free data package like Pepper. But if you use with a link, then you get some more credit, then can purchase the internet bridge or upgrade your home. And one more problem, I think, these students, they are well versed in Python. However, when it comes to actually using some outside platform, they might need some time to adapt to it. So I guess the AI function is very important because basically students can have something to begin with to actually generate some codes and then modify on those codes, so they'll be easier to implement for our students. So I just want to make sure to understand whether the AI functionality is also available in the free package. Yes. But we have some range limit. Like for the free package, you can ask at most 30 questions per page.